right, so this is your Unit 2 review. So your first question is, Grace works at a cookie store packing cookies. Her job is to place peak cookies that each weigh 4 ounces into a wooden box that weighs 5 ounces. The box can only weigh up to 15 ounces with the cookies. Which of the following inequalities represents this condition? So your first problem is 4p, because it's 4 ounces per box, which is 4p, plus the 5 ounces of the box can weigh up to 15. So up to means that it has to eat the 15 or it can equal it. So it means that 15 is the biggest number. So the answer is F. Okay, number 2, which equation is true when the value is x is equal to -2? So what I like to do is I like to plug it in. So my first equation is 3x plus 15 equals 21. So you're going to do 3 times -2 plus 15. 3 times -2 is a -6. Plus 15 equals 9. Does 9 equal 21? It does not, so that's not the correct answer. Now I'm going to do 2 times -2 plus 10. 2 times -2 is -4, plus 10 is 6. Does 6 equal 6? Yes, it does. So that's the answer, but let's disprove the other ones. You do 3 times -2 plus 20. 3 times -2 is -6, plus 20 is 14. Does 14 equal 44? It does not. Last one, 1/2 times -2 plus 17. 1/2 times -2 is -1 plus 17 is 16. 16 does not equal 13. So the answer is B. Anytime if you forget how to solve an equation, best thing to do, plug your answer into it and solve it. Okay? It's just one way to check your work. Which number 3 line represents the solution set for the inequality? 15 minus 5x is less than 40. So I'm going to rewrite this down here so I can have some room to work. So I'm going to write 15 minus 5x. If I can get the pad to work. Here we are. Is less than 40. So again, draw my line. Subtract 15 from both sides. You get -5x is less than 25. I divide both sides by -5. I will have to flip my sign to a greater than because I just divided both sides by -5. 25 divided by -5 is a -5. And since it does not equal, it's going to have an open circle. So F and H are automatically wrong. And the answer should be G because it says x is greater than -5. So that's the reason why it's going to the right. Which problem situation matches the equation 7 plus 0.75x is equal to 35? So A, the state fair charges $7 to park plus 75 cents per ride. So that's 7 plus 0.75x. And they can spend a total of $35 equals 35. Well, that is correct. B, a person downloaded an app that their phone costs $7 plus some songs that cost 75 cents each. How much did the person pay for the app and songs if they downloaded 35 songs? Well, what this is saying is I'm doing 7 plus 0.75x. Well, not x in this case, it's 35 because I know how many songs they downloaded is equal to x because I don't know how much they spent. That's the reason that one's wrong. That's actually a very close one. C, a trainer service charges $7 for each hour for the workout plus 75 cents for each person. How many hours could they work? Well, that means that 7x plus 0.75. So that's not right. This one says Sarah earned $7.75. That's not even part of the problem. So the answer has to be A. All right. Number 5. A triangle angle measures 34.6 degrees and 15.7 degrees. Which equation can be used to find x, the measure of the third angle? Well, I know if I do 34.6 plus 15.7 plus the third angle x, if I add them all up, it has to equal 180. So the answer is F. The data in the table was taken from the family budget estimated for a 2-parent family with 2 children living in Quinlan, Texas. And a 2-parent family with 2 children living in Quinlan. The father works 40 hours per week. Oh, actually, it's supposed to say 1. I'm sorry, guys. My bad. This one's supposed to say 1. And 1-parent family, the father works 40 hours per week, assuming a month has 4 weeks, which equation can be used to determine W, the father's minimum hourly wage. So what we've done in the past, we have taken the 40 hours and times it by 4 to get 160. We know the father works 160 hours, and then usually we take the 160 and divide it into his monthly budget of $3,290 to figure out his minimum hourly wage. But this time it's actually asking for an equation. The correct equation would be C, because what it's doing is taking the 3,290, dividing by 40, then by 4, use orders of operation. When you divide by 40 and then divide by 4, it's the same thing as dividing by 160. All right. 7. Brianna borrowed $2,000 from her grandparents. She made an agreement to pay back her grandparents over 5 years at an annual simple interest of 5%. What's the total amount she paid back her grandparents? So you have I is equal to P times R times T. P is 2,000. R is 0.05. T is 5. So I'm going to keep bringing the 2,000 down. 0.05 times 5 is 0.25. And then 2,000 times 0.25 is 500. So the interest would be 500, but it's asking for the total amount. So you would take what she borrowed and add it, and add the interest to it to figure out the total amount. So she would have to pay back $2,500. All right, number 8. If 2 minus 10 is equal, if 2x minus 10 equals 2, what's the value of n? What's actually be the value of x? So you draw your line. Since that 10 is subtracting, you would add 10 to both sides. And you get 2x is equal to 12. Divide, yep, that's right. So you would add 10 to both sides. So 2 plus 10 is 12. And you divide 2 to both sides and you get x equals 6. All right, next one. Mark is buying the following list of items at a local store. Mark has a coupon that allows him to choose what discount he wants to use. Option 1, 10% off the entire purchase. Option 2, 15% off one item. Well, I need to figure out his total. So the way I figure out his total is I add them all up. When I add them all up, you get $50. So he's spending $50. So you would have to find 10% of that. So you do 50 times 0.10 or 0.1, which would be $5. So to find his new total, you do 50 minus 5, which is 45. So that's option 1. Option 2 is 15% off one item. Well, you would take 15% off the largest item. So you would do $20 times 0.15, which is $3. So you would get to save $30 from the total, which would be 47, because you would do 50 minus 3, which is 47. So the answer would be A. Last one. In equations shown below, which model represents a step in the solution process for solving the equation? So I'm actually going to solve it. I'm just going to solve this equation just to see what I'm doing. So I draw my line. I subtract 4 from both sides. You get 4x equals 40. And you divide 4 to both sides. Whoops. How did I get 40? I have no clue. That's 20. You get 4x equals 20. Divide by 4 to both sides. And you get x equals 5. So the answer will be x equals 5. And that's what it's asking for. Which one of these represents the solution? Well, B is automatically wrong because this is saying x equals 7. That's not right. This is automatically wrong because this is saying x, 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 x. That's 8 x's. That's wrong. And then this one's wrong because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't divide by 5. There was never 5 x's. There was only 4. So it means that C is the right answer because there's 4 x's, which equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each x equals 5. All right, thank you guys.